My opinion on security cameras on the mall is, I think it's a good idea because there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on down here. Sometimes it's not appropriate law enforcement to come get people, and maybe the cameras can slow down some of the violent activities or crimes that go on down here. And it could be safe and make the mall a lot safer for people.
I really don't like the idea of being watched all the time in an outdoor public space. I understand the need for businesses to have surveillance cameras to prevent break-ins into their individual stores, but I think the idea of a public space being monitored that closely that doesn't make me very comfortable.
Anytime you walk down a public street, you have no expectation of privacy.
As David Brown said when this issue came before City Council, it was sort of like this creeping erosion of our civil liberties in this country, particularly under this president.
We actually began looking at security and assessment of our critical infrastructure after 9/11. Police agencies and municipalities around the country began looking at critical infrastructure issues. And one of the reasons video surveillance came up in the context of the mall is on the east end of the mall here is some of the most important critical infrastructure that the city has. So we first began looking at video surveillance around these buildings, with the mall being a major access point to these buildings shortly after 9/11.
I think generally speaking it's a very safe place, and obviously it's the heart of the community, and so we want to keep it a special place.
And we began pursuing some rough order of magnitude costs. Found that we could probably do 30 cameras in the downtown area for about $300,000.
City Council reviewed the proposal and did not agree to move forward with a centralized, fixed, government-run camera system on the downtown mall. What we agreed to explore further was the idea of enhancing an existing program that the police department has, where they have mobile camera systems they set up at known crime hotspots.
I think that maybe the police department could put those dollars to other parts of their budget, like more staff, so they could put more police officers on the downtown mall, or more training so that we could have a safer community in that respect.
It's not a practical solution. The reason it's not a practical solution is I have 7 actual vacancies now. I have another 8 people in training. That's 15 operational vacancies. It's very difficult to keep positions staffed in law enforcement these days. That's a reality. Council authorized 10 more positions. I'll be 3 years filling them if I ever fill them. So it's an easier said than done solution to say just give them more money and more cops. Doesn't work that way.
But here, this is a civil liberties issue, and especially at the downtown mall, where it's, people come down on Fridays and they're happy, and it's a place where we commune. Why should we be spied on in a place that we commune?
I don't believe there's a constitutional issue here.
I think that if they put cameras on the downtown mall, I'll never return to the place.
There are cameras in place in some of the businesses right here on the downtown mall. If we stop the cameras now and go take a ride on that carousel, we'll be under the eye of a video surveillance system.
I think cameras at ATMs and stores are a good idea. People can get robbed at ATMs, people can steal out of stores, so it can help a whole lot of people cut back on doing crime in the stores and on ATM.
And so what we're going to do is look at systems that basically build on the one that we have now. It would not be a fixed, centralized system, but if you had a rash of incidents in parking lots at Water Street, you could set it up around there and use that to identify perpetrators.
That it creates a safe environment, and that's what we're after here. If at the end of the day, people don't feel safe, whether it be on these bricks or anywhere else in our community, that's an issue we need to react to. And I think use of any type of technology is a force multiplier. And it's certainly something at our disposal that we ought to be able to employ.
I have total 100% respect for Chief Longo, for the police department. I think they're well-intentioned when they make these kinds of proposals. And that's their job. They're doing their job. And our job as elected officials is to balance out the need for public safety and civil liberties. And sometimes that means we're going to err on the side of public safety, and sometimes we're going to err on the side of civil liberties. And that's part of the balance of democracy, and that's a great thing about our country.